What is up, everybody? We are back here today with another video, and in today's video I'm going to talk about my retro game collection that I have right here. That's right, I've been collecting some, not a lot. I don't get paid a lot from my job, but with the little money that I do get, I spend some of it on old games. The second part of this video, I want to talk about possibly opening a store in the future. I don't know how soon, but this is my inventory that I have right now. And yeah, I'm gonna go through it and talk a little bit about it and just my time and experience in gaming in general, because this is a channel that started out with gaming. I make video games, and video games are just so awesome to me. I would always want to collect the physical copy of the game. So I have this little collection here. As you can see, a very small collection, but it's a collection, and I'm gonna go through it right now. Okay, I'm tracking my collection on price charting, and it's valued at $618, and I've spent about $665 on all of this total right now. So all of this is totaled to be about $618. There's a few gaming stores around where I live. There's a Smash video game store, and then there's like 2 or 3 GameStops, and I'll tell you which ones I've bought where and how I got some of these games and consoles. So yeah. Alright, while I'm showing everything off here, the first console that I remember playing, a lot of people's was Nintendo. Mine was the PS1. And I specifically remember playing Blitz 2000. I remember the cheat codes. There was a cheat code where you can get a big head and you run around and you have big heads. But my parents sold all those games in a garage sale, and then my dad picked up the original Xbox. I remember getting GTA San Andreas. I remember him coming home with that. My mom was all mad. But then the PS1 still lingered in me. Every time I went to my friends, they always had a PlayStation 2. And the only Nintendo console that I had was the Game Boy Advance. My grandma bought Game Boy Advances for me and my brother one Christmas. And as you can see, I bought a new one because we lost one of them. And yeah, so let's get on with it. Alright, let's get this show on the road. First, I want to show off this Game Boy that I got. And right off the bat, as you can see, the serial code is missing, which is interesting. I've never seen that before, a blank serial code. Real interesting. It's authentic though. I bought it from the Smash video game store. They're a legit store. It is the SP101 with the brighter screen. You press the button, boom, brighter screen. All right there, I got a charger. It came in decent condition. I bought it for $140, but it was decent condition. As you can see, I accidentally put a little bit extra scratches in there because I was like moving around houses and I had to keep it in my bag, and it just got a little damaged while that was happening. The first game I bought for the SP was the Super Mario's Advance 4, Super Mario's Bros. 3. This game, I bought it for about $20, and I bought this for $140. The reason I kept going there and I kept asking them if they had one, I'm like, hey, do you have an SP? An SP, I'd come there probably a few times a week for a few weeks. And eventually one of the ladies was like, we got one coming in, a red one, and this 101 graphite. And I was like, yo, and I went in the next day and it was on the display shelf for $140, and I didn't care. It was the first system that I decided to buy getting into this, because I just have so many good memories. I actually remember a good friend of mine gave me Pokemon Emerald back in the day, and I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. Wonder where that went. But I've had a physical game of Pokemon Emerald. My friend was like, I don't want it. Here, you can have it. And I was like, okay. And I had that game for years and years and years. And eventually when I decided to get back into retro collecting, I was wondering where the SPs were. There was 2 of them, a graphite one and a light gray one, like a bluish one. And the bluish one was gone. And my brother still has the other graphite Graphite one, and I saw this at the store, picked it up for $140. Some other games I have here is the Namco Museum Classic. Most of these games I've had when we were kids, and that was like the point of doing this, was like collecting games I had when I was a kid or games that I wanted. So I just wanted that nostalgia again, and then I kind of realized that there's money in this kind of world, you know? So here, I bought this game here for $10. Kind of crazy why I caught that. Kind of crazy that I bought this for $10, but I did. Bought it at the Super Smash Bros. At the Smash video game store. They mark up their prices just a little bit. Just a little bit, I imagine, to make money, I guess. Now this game, you might have seen this game. This is a homebrew game. I bought this game for $30 in December. Yeah, I've accumulated all this stuff in the course of like 6 months too. So I just want to say that real quick. But yeah, this is a homebrew game. Dragonborn here. I played it a little bit, but it was pretty hard. $30, it's like a $40 game. Here is Rayman 2 for the Game Boy Color. I bought this for $30, as you can see. Again, it's like a $40 game now. Played it a little bit, got stuck on like the second level. And here's a game here. We got Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring here. I played this game a little bit. It was okay. Bought it for $15 though. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy prices over there at Smash Games. I don't know. It might just be because it's fluctuating so much. I wanted to start off with Nintendo because Nintendo is kind of like the talk of the town right now. Like, they just dropped the Switch 2. I don't have a Switch 1. I might get a Switch 2, but I really want a Switch 1 to be able to collect all the physical media for it. And the last game I have here is, so I decided to start collecting Game Boy games in boxes. Comes in box, because all these so far have been loose games and they haven't been really too valuable, like $40 if not the most. But I did go to the Smash video game store about 45 minutes away. They got two stores. They got one in a bigger town 45 minutes away from me, so I drove up there. They had some games in my budget. I wanted to spend at least $50, so I picked up this Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories for $30. It says on price charting it goes for like $75 in the box, around $75 in the box. But I'll show you why I think they priced it at $30. As you can see, the box is a little worn. You can't really see, but it's a little worn there. Has some wear and tear. It even has a literal tear in it. Right here, there's like a little like stab in the box. So the box is not in the greatest condition. It wasn't a lot of money, so it wasn't like a huge risk or anything, me buying it. It is complete. It does come with the game. It comes with the manual. Here's the game right there. I haven't tested it, but I trust them over at Smash. Just their prices are a little wild sometimes. Comes with all the manuals and stuff. It just doesn't come with the cards, so I don't know if that's a complete box. If it doesn't come with the cards, I don't think it's a complete box, but I knew the cards were gone. I knew they'd be gone a long time ago. Okay, before we finish up the Nintendo and move on to PlayStation 2, the only advanced game that I'm looking for is the Max Payne game. In the box, it goes for about $80 on price charting, but I'm willing to spend whatever, or trade, or do some trading. I got Rayman and Dragonborn here, which would be about $80. So yeah, I'm looking for Max Payne for the Game Boy Advance SP. Let's go to PlayStation 2. Okay, so the PlayStation 2 takes me way back. Like I said, all my friends had PlayStation. I've never owned a PlayStation before the PS1. I've never owned one ever in my life, but I always wanted a PlayStation. So I picked up a PlayStation from the Smash store. I got a slim station here. I picked this up for $160. It has a little bit of scuffs here on the bottom. Nothing too crazy. It had a little bit of scuff on the front. It's a little dusty right now. I haven't used it too much. Got two memory cards for it, a PS2 one for 12, a PS1 memory card for about 10, and they are the Sony memory cards here. As you can see, you got the clear one. I really like that one. I really like the blue one too. Looks really cool. But yeah, so that's the console there. You know, the day I bought it, I walked into the store and I saw it and I just knew I had to buy it that day. I went home, I got home from work and I just was like, yo, I'm gonna go buy it real quick. And I drove over there. It took about 15 minutes right before they closed. Like 15 minutes before they closed, I walked in and that console was just screaming my name. So I just bought it that day and walked out with it with the controller here and all the cords. And yeah, that is the PlayStation console that I got. All right, next I'm gonna talk about most of the games I have here. I'm missing one game, which is the Star Wars Battlefront 2, which a friend gave me a long time ago, which honestly I thought I lost. But yeah, that would just kind of jump started the collection at $0, and it's about a $10 game. I don't have it here, but these are all the rest of the games I have. So like I said, most of these games were games that I owned as a child on probably the Xbox, but never owned on the PlayStation 2 before. One of the few games that I had on the Xbox was this game right here, Time Splitter. This is probably the most expensive game I have. I got this for $25 at the Smash video game store. Time Splitter 2. I just remember playing this game as a kid and having a ton of fun with it. But yeah, Time Splitter 2. Next game is one of my more recent ones. I got Mortal Kombat Deception. This is a really fun game. This was a game I played as a kid. It has this open world element, a bunch of mini games you can play. I just remember playing that game. I had so much fun playing it. Another game that I played as a kid, surprisingly, was Gun. I picked this up and Mortal Kombat Deception for $15 each on different days. But Gun is a game that it's one of the best games ever. It's one of the few games that I've actually like beat, you know what I'm saying, or I've had time to beat. Here's another game. I only have Destroy Humans 2. There was one. I don't know if it's still there, but I had this game as a kid, loved it. And by the way, all these games so far I think come with the manuals. Not Gun though. Gun doesn't come with the manual, but I know the manual's in there. Mortal Kombat comes with the manual here. So most of these games are complete. We got Time Splitter, the manual in there. So most of these games are complete in box, just not sealed. Next game is a super special game. This is the game that is my profile picture on this channel, guys. This is Tony Hawk Underground 2. I bought this game at GameStop. I went into one of the GameStops around town and I asked if they had any PlayStation 2 games, and they said no. And I was like kind of angry. I was like, but she was like, wait, hold on. We do have this game though. And again, guys, another game that I had as a kid. I bought it for $8. $8. They had it for sale for $8. This is over a $20 game here. This game is over $20. They sold it to me for $8. Had to buy it, guys. We got Jak 3, Jak 2, and Jak and Daxter 1. We got the trilogy here of Jak and Daxter. I've only played 1 and 2. I've never played 3, but I was at GameStop and I saw these two games for really cheap, $6 and like $6 a pop, and I just had to buy them because I knew one day I would run into the first one, which I did at the Smash Game store. The other two has the manual. This one doesn't have the manual, and it looks like something's in there too, but doesn't have the manual. I think it was because there's a map, and the map is pretty cool, I guess, so I kind of understand why there's no manual. But yeah, the Jak trilogy, super cool. Almost done here. We got GTA San Andreas. You know, had to get this one. This was a classic. This is a classic. $15. This is a classic. This was one of the first games that I just remember playing playing wholeheartedly, like as a kid. One of some of the best memories of my life, yo. I still play that game to this day on my Xbox. Next, we got kind of a random one. It's not really a game. I got Music Maker for the PlayStation 2. I got it for $10, but it's like $6, $8 or something. But it says it has over 3,000 sounds, loops, 16 stereo tracks plus 2 video tracks, multi-track mixer, interactive mix sessions, save as many as 60 arrangements on your memory card. I love music, so I thought this was really interesting. So and it was sitting there on the shelf for like 2 years, so figured I'd be the one to buy it. Finally, like I said, I love music. I got me Guitar Hero 3 and Guitar Hero controller here, the Angus Young signature here. Not really, just the Gibson SG guitar, but watching a lot of AC/DC videos recently, and you can see it's a little devil. But yeah, that is the PlayStation collection, guys, and that's all I can. That's about it. That's about it for PlayStation 2. Real quick here for a second, some games that I'm looking for the PlayStation aren't really PlayStation 2 games. I'm looking for Crash Bandicoot, the first one, preferably the Black Label. I'm looking for Diablo for the PlayStation, Diablo 1, and then I'm looking for The Simpsons Hit and Run. Alright guys, so that's about my whole collection I have, or inventory. So this brings us to the second point of the video, is the store. And I don't want to talk too much about it because it's just an idea that's been floating in my head for a little bit now. You know, before I even started collecting recently, I was interested in doing this. I feel like that's kind of a thing a lot of kids kind of think of, is starting a video game store. You know, and I talked to my dad about it, and he kind of said it's not a commodity, so it might be a little hard to get into. But, you know, to me, I need something. So, the store. So, as you can see, guys, this is a big place, a big studio, and if you haven't noticed, there's a room back here, and I will show you that room here in a second. Alright guys, so there's this room back here with all this stuff. And this is all like my dad's stuff apparently, but you got all this stuff. But it's a decent sized room. It's a big room. And all this stuff is in here. And I'm in the talks of getting this stuff moved. Basically, all this stuff moved off these shelves, basically. And they would just be replaced with vintage video games to sell to people. And make me something to get me by. Because this job is just not paying enough. And yeah, but it has potential, guys. Massive potential. This space here, it just, I don't want it to go to waste anymore with all this random junk in here. That's what I've been thinking, guys, is half music studio, half video game store. But that's just an idea that's been floating around. I don't know, guys. I think I'm gonna call it like Underground Games or something. I'm not sure. Underground something. But yeah, guys, that is going to be today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been BlazeLink's retro video game collection. I just want to say that I appreciate you guys so much for watching all my videos. I don't know what I would do without you guys. You guys have completely changed my life. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out. Peace!